welcome back, everyone, to another Kingly Decree, the very first one of the year. Thank you all for joining. Um, for those that are new, I'm Victor. I am the steward of Hungry for the Words Men's Ministry. We meet here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays, usually live, but as of lately, the Father has been allowing me to just pre record these. Um, and I'm not too sure why. We will go live from time to time if need be, but this kind of seems like the going format. I know also if we're bringing guests and we're doing panels like we were last year, I would definitely like them to be live as well so that we can get things collaborative. But thank you all for joining the first one of the year. We have rested. We have been hanging out over time together, just doing what the Lord has purposed for us. But this year, this is different. I don't want to say this is the new hungry for the word, but this is now hungry for the word. What God has called for it to be, what He has purposed for it to be, starts this year. We've been following along with my journey on becoming the minister and building up this thing that God has purpose in my heart that He has created me for, and I know what it is, and we have stand firm for it, and we have sought the matter out. But now is the time where this will be the emphasis on not 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 keeping up, but fulfilling the purpose, the duty, the call, the vision, the mission statement of what Hungry for the Word is. So thank you all for just walking with me and my family along this journey that we have gone to, but now is the time to actually step into the fullness of it. Last year we did a conference and a meetup, and I've seen the fruit of the men that come regularly on Tuesday to the meetings, and those that have watched the prayers on the Monday morning routine, has prayed along, or that do take the time out to watch either the clips or these Kingly Decree teachings. Just chatting with you guys on the side or the emails that I've been receiving. I know that the Lord has produced a lot of fruit already, but we are just in the beginning. We were just in the beginning, and now we are going to begin to walk. And I do want to mention one person, Oscar. I have thank you for your encouragement that you have been sending over the past couple of days. Um, I haven't gotten the chance to meet you like on a Tuesday call or speak to you, but thank you for the encouragement. We will continue to move forward in faith and purpose. So thank you for that. But other than that, yeah, this is the new year. We did our objectives, we did our goals. What I've learned is that my objectives and goals list is a lot shorter, but there is more meat to it. Let's just say that there's now a new level of maturity. It was like not like beginner to intermediate, but that's what it kind of feels like, right? And that there's going to be new revelation. There's going to be more wisdom, and we are just going to keep pursuing and pushing forward in the things that God has called for us in this year, in this season, in this time. And we are going to discuss that as well next week. I know we talked about identifying your seasons and what that looks like, but we're going to start focusing on time and the details of the time and the details of the season and the details of the things that the Lord has for us. All right. We are going to be talking about the cave of Adullam today and the importance of it, and that it is not avoidable, right? It is not avoidable. This Western gospel, from what we have seen, I'm not saying that every church does this or every teacher does this, but from what people's perception is of God is, I come to God, I get blessed, and He continues to bless me over and over and over again, right? Which is the fruit of what others get to see, but it's not the root of how we get there, right? The root of how we get there is through the fire, through the sanctification, through the prayers, through the alms, through the crying out to the Lord, through all of those things that we see, the being in the cave, right? Just talking with some of the men, being in the cave, sometimes it might be a cave of isolation, but just being in this place is where he really begins to work on your heart. The thing that he really gets to press in on what it is that he needs you to change about yourself, so that he can accomplish the goals in which that he has set forth before you even step foot on this earth. And we'll speak about that through David's story. All right, so I'll just, interestingly enough, the teaching, the cave of Adullam, is really only um, two verses. It's First Samuel 22 verses 1 through 2. But there is so much that comes with it. There's so much that it involves in, that when you do your research and you actually study it out, when you read through it, you can just kind of briefly pass by it. But when you really study it out, this is where David's character was built. I mean, his character has always been defined when he was in the sheep and wrestling with the bears and the lions, and not being looked at as fully, like, just basically deemed as worthless by his own family, things of that nature. But this is the time where God has worked on his character, his integrity, and has created him to be the leader that he was meant to be this whole entire time. All right, so if we go to First Samuel 22, I'll read it. As David therefore departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. So when his brothers and all of his family's house heard it, they went down there to him. And everyone who was in distress, everyone who was in debt, and everyone who was discontented gathered to him. So he became captain over them, and there were about 400 men with him. All right, so the importance that we try to understand here is that this is where this is this isn't the I'm fleeing from my purpose, I'm fleeing from my calling, I'm freeing from what it is. Uh, if we don't get the opportunity, um, how do I want to word this? God, I think it was said, God's design for the wilderness or for the cave is to produce something in us that we couldn't have produced in it ourselves with just going through the motions. If it was just given to David as kingship, if it was just given to us the things that we are looking for, right? This constant pursuit by Saul. And some argue, his reign was this long, or it couldn't have been this long before David was king. And we'll get into all of that in a little bit with the fun facts towards the end. But that in his escape, pushed and produced in him the thing that will allow him to stand before Saul and tell him, I won't touch what God has anointed. I won't do him any harm, right? Thinking about seeking revenge or having the opportunity to grab the promise for yourself rather than await for it to be perfected and then given to you by the Father is where this is produced at. And there's Psalms here that I want to read where it will show us exactly where David's heart posture was in this. And I say all that to say that it is not avoidable for us. We cannot avoid these things. And what I will say is, when we talk about the children of Israel in the wilderness, it was only supposed to take them 11 days. And God said he rerouted them because he knew that if they faced battle, that they would flee back to where they were going. But then it took them 40 years to come out of that wilderness. What my thing is, I will always believe in is our wilderness will last as long as we'll make it last. Our wilderness season will last as long as we're not understanding the lessons or the things that we're being taught with our hearts. And the Lord is the only one that knows the intentions of our hearts. And the Lord is the only person that knows what buttons to press, right? And sometimes we think that we can help out the Father, and it doesn't work out in the ways that He wants to do that. And especially with the cave, the cave I find interesting is that you have to go into it, right? You know, Jesus was sent off into the wilderness. The children of Israel was sent off. David was chased and escaped and ran into the cave. Now, there's people out there that'll walk past their cave. They might peek in the cave, but there are those that go into the cave. And one thing that I learned this year, and we talked about this on Tuesday, is the and I posted this as well, as bringing the perseverance that we've had in 2026 into, or in 2025 into 2026. And one of the things that me and Brother Philip have learned personally, is what it looks like to see something through to completion. And I've talked about this before. I don't think I've shared this in this manner, but everything that I have done in my own strength before being called, um, if I didn't see the things that it was producing in the manner in which I was producing it, then I would deem it as a failure. And then I would redivert all my energy and my time into something else. Even though I just spent years doing this, or I spent time doing that, I never seen something fully through to completion in the manner in which that I'm seeking what he has called me to do now. Right. Even when it came to work, if if my manager says something to me that I did not like, I would literally come home and I would tell my wife, I'd be like, hey, so and so said this to me today. I ain't really appreciate it. I'm gonna find me a new job. And why is that? Because I trusted in my abilities and my strength and my education and my experience so much that I knew that I can get any job that I wanted to get myself out of a situation, rather than serving in the way that the Lord will expect us to work, as if we were working unto him. But this is before I knew those biblical principles, right? That's why you see hopping from job to job to job, or you don't want to give me the raise that I want, then fine, I will leave and go get it somewhere else. That's why we don't have things that last as long, or someone that is so gung-ho at something in the beginning and then you could just see it fizzling and dying out, right? That's not happening here. Just because I'm taking breaks or I'm going on rest does not mean that I've quit on the ministry, or I've quit making videos, or I quit making this. No, mine is, I am seeking the process out through its fullness, and I'm believing on what the Lord has, right? Where other people follow the YouTube algorithms or create all these moments and these shorts and all this stuff, and they burn themselves out. They burn themselves out, and then it becomes a dead channel, and you don't see from them anymore. But what we have to realize is that we need to see things through completion when it's coming through Him. All right, and there's been so many times where, thinking back on it, as I said that out loud, I have left probably better jobs to go into worse jobs, but thinking the worst job will be a better job because it'll be a change of scenery. How many times do you get a job in the same career at a different place just to find out that that place still has the same problems that you hated at the other place? Right? I always find that so interesting, so weird to me. That we do those things, but yet I found myself doing that in at the same way. And what's interesting even more is that when you feel like you're in this cave, the cave is this dark place. So, they got their candles and their fires and their torches and all that stuff illuminated, but it's confined, it's close, or it's very vast. This cave was very vast and allowed for 400 people to be there. Even held even more, from what I've researched. But you always feel like you're alone. You start off, if you're the one that found the cave, you always feel like you're isolated. You feel like you're the one that's alone, right? I say this all the time. I feel like I'm in the woods or in the wilderness, like John, just eating locusts and wild honey, screaming, "Does anybody hear me?" Right? But this is where the Lord had brought all the other ones to David. This is how all of the other people came together. They placed their faith knowing that David would one day be the king, right, from Saul's oppression. Even though Samuel told him this would happen when you ask for a king, right? Those that were in distress went and sought out the cave too, right? Those that were in debt went and sought out the cave too. Those that were discontented gathered around him, believing that there was more, believing that there's a purpose. And I will tell you this, the same thing, that when the Lord starts you off on something and you start to find those that are in community that are like-minded, that they will help you plow those fields, right? It's God's purpose. Everyone's calling might be different, but we can all serve in the same field. We can all walk alongside each other. Just like building the same wall, right? It's all the same wall, it's just different sections. One goal, one purpose, rebuild the wall. But that family has that section over there. That family has that section over there, right? But we're all working together. We are all coming together for God's purpose, God's plan, and God's design. And in these two scriptures, these two verses, all of this is happening. All of this, his character, his integrity, his leadership, all that starts here in two things in a cave, right? So don't allow what it is that you're going through or whatever it is that you're seeing for those that are called and purpose with something and we're pursuing it. Don't allow that cave feeling to say this is not working. This is not God's plan. That's what the wide road people see, right? Imagine someone peeking their head in and someone walking by like, God ain't tell you to leave your job to move to a place that you ain't never been before, and then not get a job and just figure out how money works, right? Like those are people that will peek their head in, that'll walk by, but there are those that are set on what God has for them, and they will go in that cave. They will walk in that cave. All right. I'll read some Psalms. I'm gonna start with Psalm. Um, where is it at? We'll go to Psalm 142. Let's go to Psalm 142 so that we can get a better understanding of how David was in this cave. It literally says a plea from relief from persecutors, a prayer when David was in the cave. All right, Psalms 142 says, I cry out to the Lord with my voice. With my voice to the Lord, I make my supplication. I pour out my complaint before him. I declare before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then you knew my path. In the way in which I walk, they have secretly set a snare for me. Look on my right hand and see, for there is no one who acknowledges me. Refuge has failed me. No one cares for my soul. I cry out to you, O Lord. I said, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Attend to my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise your name. The righteous shall surround me, for you shall deal bountiful with me. I just love this psalm so much. Getting an understanding of that's what he was going through in the cave. That's what he was believing for in the cave. And it says at the end, the righteous shall surround me. The righteous will surround you as well as you're going out fulfilling what it is that God has called you to do. You're not meant to be alone doing this, right? When you cry out to the Lord with your voice and you're making your supplication before me and you pour out your complaint before him and you declare before him your troubles. He's literally, David literally does the same thing that we do. Literally does the same thing. When his spirit was overwhelmed, he knew the path in which he walked. All right. And you seek refuge in the Lord and you continue to let the Lord lead you and guide you. Um, and that he will bring you out. He will deliver you. All right. In the time in which he has. Let me go over to this next Psalm, Psalm 57. Let's read Psalms 57. This one is a prayer for safety from my enemies. These are David's prayers in this cave. Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me, for my soul trusts in you. And in the shadow of your wings I will take my refuge until these calamities have passed by. I will cry out to God Most High, to God who performs all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me. He reproaches the one who would swallow me up, Salah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lie among the sons of men who are set on fire, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongues a sharp sword. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul bowed down. They have dug a pit before me. Into the midst of it, they themselves have fallen. Salah. My heart is steadfast, O God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and give praise. Awake, my glory, awake, lute and harp. I will awaken the dawn. I will praise you, O Lord, among the people, excuse me. I will praise you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing to you among the nations. For your mercy reaches unto the heavens, and your truth unto the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all of the earth. All right, so here we see here still the way that the Lord has angled David's heart. I mean, just singing and giving praises. I mean, he sets the example of what we need to do when we're in these times. This literally says to the chief musician sent to not, do not destroy, a mention of David when he fled from Saul into the cave. All right. Even in our struggles and our adversities, when we're fleeing, when we're going through these things and we're trying to find and search for the Lord, He is still there. He is still wonderful. And He's still merciful to protect us and guide us and lead us. And, I heard one, I know this might sound simple, but it just makes so much sense when we are the created serving the creator. The creator does not serve us. We serve the create. We serve the creator does not serve the created. We serve the creator. And that's a heart posture that David has continuously had throughout all of his rule, all of his process, all of the things that he has gone through. He still finds the way to present his heart in a posture of praise and serving and knowing that as long as he has the Lord, everything will be all right. All right, one more psalm that I have for you, Psalm 34. Psalm 34 says, the happiness of those who trust in God. All right. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make it boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried out, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps all around those who fear him and delivers them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. O fear the Lord, you his saints. There is no want to those who fear him. The young lion lacks and suffer hunger, but those who seek the Lord shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Who is the man who desires life and loves many days that he may see good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears, and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves such as have a contrite spirit. Many are the affliction of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of all of them. He guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and those who hate the righteous shall be condemned. The Lord redeems the souls of his servants, and none of those who trust in him shall be condemned. Amen to that. Amen to that. Um, as we reflect on the things that David had went through, one of the things that always stands out to me when I'm discussing the cave of Adullam is that, you know, I think I mentioned this earlier, is that when he left the cave, it didn't get easier, right? If we think about this right after, let me go to it. Saul murders the priest because of association, right? He knew that the priests were with David, um, and Saul ended up murdering them, except for one that escaped, and then he told him to be with him because it would be safer from him, right? So that um, our expectations of coming out of the cave and seeing the more, it's still going to be a journey. It's still going to be a process. These little fun facts that I have discovered, which speaks to me, is the Lord reminding me of where I'm at right now. This one last thing that we are all waiting for, that we're believing for, is just to not forget. And I think that's the importance as well as when David's going out into these battles, that he just does not forget. Not only does he not forget the Lord, but do not forget the place that you were at when the Lord came and brought you out of it. Just thinking about all the nights that you've laid on your face and that you prayed and that you sought after the Lord and that you tried to find him in all of these different ways and that you stood on firm foundation. Um, Thinking about those that are praying for children and, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of being childless, knowing that God told you you'll have a child, and then you have that child. There's a there's this notion or this what is it? Um there's this thing where it says that if you experience like a traumatic incidents, so say that you get into an accident and then all of a sudden you become paralyzed and you're not able to walk anymore. It takes 6 months from that traumatic experience to where you're at now for it to become a normalized thing, which I found that interesting. Now, how true that might be, I'm not so sure, but I just noticed that I can't remember where I got that from. But I just thought about it where that is very true for everything, especially like us as believers, right? Just thinking about how long you were praying, going back to the child example, right? You're praying for this child, you're praying for this child, you finally have the child, right? And then 6 months to a year, you have normalized like having a child, not realizing how long you were on your face praying for this child, believing that the Lord would give you a child, standing in faith, right? Even if you were, say, you're going to the doctor and the doctor's just trying all these different things, all these different injections and strategies. And they're like, you know what? You might as well, you're better off adopting. That'll be how you get your children. And knowing that God is going to give you one. And then after 6 months, it becomes normalized. Right? That's the mentality that we have to keep when we're getting these blessings. Like, oh yeah, I deserve this. I've been praying and seeking the Lord. I knew the Lord was going to deliver it to me, and now is water under the bridge because you have it. No, stay there. Remember why He took you through this, and we can't discount other people's journeys either because each journey touches that person's heart. Right here, the example of the rich young ruler, where Jesus was like, "Sell it all, sell all your possessions, give your money to the poor, come follow me." That man couldn't do it. Then you have the same guy, what was it, Zacchaeus or whatever, and he was like, uh, Zacchaeus himself said that he was going to sell his possessions, give it to the poor, and if I cheated anybody or did anything wrong, then I would restore back to them times two what I did. Right. Same situation, same thing, different heart postures, different responses, right? So what I'm going through, I can't be like, oh man, because you ain't go through what I went through, your blessings are discounted or your journey is discounted. We can't do that at all. And even me being in this house, dealing with the last year and 10 months, I it feels like that was a couple of days for me. But if you asked me that 3 months ago, I feel like I've been dealing with that for 50 whole years, right? So it is very important for us that as we don't despise the cave, we build upon the cave, we stand firm on the cave, and when we come out of it, we don't forget the cave. And we don't want to find ourselves running from cave to cave to cave and never finding the freedom and the purpose in which God has for us. Some of the fun facts as well with the cave, I'll have here with you, and I'll leave this with you that I found. They recognize this place as well as their faith. They put their faith in David as the last hope. Those are the ones that were discontented, in debt, and those that were in distress. Saul reigned for 40 years, according to Acts 13:12. I mean, excuse me, 13:21. There's a whole lot of arguments about how long Saul reigned. It was impossible for him to reign that long, based off of David's age or these things. This is what I found, and this is what was given. Right. Um, some people even said that Saul was chasing after David for 20 years. If that's true, that's even crazy, right? Imagine being told that you're going to be king, and then running away from a king that you actually served. Like, think about the manner in which David served Saul for 7 years as a warrior, as well as playing the instrument that relieved Saul of his distress that God sent the tormenting spirit to. God sent a tormenting spirit to Saul, and then David was the one that healed that tormenting spirit by playing the lyre. And then David slayed Goliath, became a warrior, became this leader that everybody could recognize. And then when Saul perceived that that honor was on David, then that's when all that stuff happened, right? So it is so important. You don't know the destination, you don't know the route, you don't know the way, and you don't know how that God is going to do it for you. You just got to believe in the same manner that we see David in these Psalms praising and praying and worshiping the Lord, that his thoughts are good, his plan is good, and he's going to see it through as long as you stay right with him. All right, so I have 4 years on the run is the main pursuit, I guess, with David fleeing from Saul. And then another 4 years is what I found when David lived in Ziklag until Saul actually died. Now, the geographical refuge of the cave of Adullam is a limestone cavern that lies on the Shephelah western edge. It's a natural stronghold and it has multiple entrances. The surveys by the Israel Antiquities Authority noted interior capacity for several hundred occupants. They have freshwater cisterns and a defensible high ground. And its proximity to the Philistine territory enabled quick maneuvers while discouraging Saul from risky pursuit across frontier zones. So this kind of lets me know that they stayed here for a long time. For one, that he was able to, they were able to, we were able to find where this cave was, right? How the land was, how many people was actually able to hold, and just the defense of it. Like, they probably were in here for a while. It don't say how long he was there, but I'm assuming that that was pretty much a really good place for them. All right, and another thing too is, man, we pray for our helpers, our destiny helpers, those with experience, the kingdom financiers that can help us with our purpose and stuff like that. And there's people out there that are called to go find them, to go out and find the people, but God will also send them to you. David did not go to seek out these 400 men. God sent them there to him. All right. So God will send you what you need to accomplish the will and the purpose that he has for your life. So just stick to it, believe it, stand firm in it, and do not allow anyone to talk you out of it. All right. So that's really what I have for the cave of Adullam. And I hope this is a good reflection of it. I tried to do this recording earlier. So this is like part two for me doing this reteaching. Oh man, next time I will make sure I use the proper software for this. But man, I'm just so thankful and glad to be back with everyone after this rest. I truly believe that the Lord has made us pillars, has set this foundation firm, and we're going to be able to start seeing things that are going to be popping out of the soil rather than going roots digging deep into the soil. We're going to start seeing it this year. Time is now, and I'm excited to walk alongside all of you on what it is that God has for us. 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be back with the Monday morning routine. That will always be live. We'll be praying. If you have any requests, prayer requests, send them in the email or however you contact with me. Gentlemen, if you are looking for a good group of men to continue to grow and go and grow in Christ, one thing I will say is I'm not the end all be all here. I don't do those type of things. That I don't know how the other stuff works out. Anyway, all I know is that whatever God gives me, I share, and the other men do the same thing. Whatever God gives them, they share. So if you want a good group of men to join and walk alongside, we meet at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays at Zoom. The information is in the description. You can go to the website. As of right now, the website is kind of down because I haven't been able to pay for the web hosting. I still have the domain. I still have the email. So if you want to shoot me an email, go ahead and I'll send you the Zoom link information there. If you want to sew into the ministry, that would be great. So that maybe I can get the website back up and working completely as well. That information is in the description below. And also, Equally Yoked is going to be bi weekly on Thursdays. Me and the missus have already discussed it. It will be bi-weekly on Thursdays starting next week. We will be bi-weekly on Thursdays. And we're going to fill this thing out. We're going to round this thing out. And we're just going to see the more that he provides. I'm not doing anything in my own strength. I'm not striving. I'm not chasing after algorithms or popularity or clicks or however that works. Because, like I said, and we've seen in the scripture, he will send them to you. All right. If you guys have anything else, I don't have anything else. You all have a blessed and safe weekend. I will see you all on Monday. Peace.